As a player, if you're the baddest guy in the league, you should be MVP. Now it's, oh, his team is in first.
I don't like that. That's not a real MVP to me, because you own a championship team and you're the best player on a championship team, of course.
Every NBA fan knows the spotlight isn't always about who's greatest. Sometimes it's about who grabs the most attention. But here's the twist. Two of the league's most dominant players, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokić, are also two of its most hated and most envied. Why? Because unlike LeBron James, Steph Curry, or Luka Dončić, Shai and Jokić didn't need hype machines, Hollywood markets, or constant drama to rise. They just kept winning, quietly. And nothing makes the NBA world more uncomfortable than greatness without noise. So today, we're going deep into the jealousy, the resentment, and the hidden truths behind why the NBA world secretly fears Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokić. Stay locked in, because by the end of this video, you'll hear a bombshell insight that could completely change the way you view the league. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the silent assassin. Shai isn't just good, he's unstoppable. He slithers past defenders, rises with mid-range precision, and calmly drops 30 points like it's nothing. No theatrics, no trash talk, just execution. But here's the catch. When Shai dominates, the headlines rarely follow. ESPN panels, Twitter debates, even YouTube clips often skip him for flashier names. LeBron's latest quote, Luka's step back, Ja Morant's off-court drama. Meanwhile, Shai is building an MVP resume in silence. Even Stephen A. Smith admitted on ESPN, this kid Shai is a superstar, but people ain't giving him the flowers he deserves. And I don't understand why. The truth? Many in the league feel threatened, because Shai represents a different kind of superstar, one who doesn't play the political game. He lets the scoreboard do the talking, and that quiet dominance makes others uneasy. Nikola Jokić, the reluctant king. Now let's talk Jokić, the Joker, the two-time MVP. Should have been 3, a finals MVP, a champion. And yet somehow, he's still disrespected. Charles Barkley once said, if Jokić was American, we'd talk about him every night like he's LeBron. And he's right, because here's a player who can dismantle defenses with a pass, a shot, or a single post move. Yet analysts often reduce him to just a big man who passes. Why? Because Jokić doesn't fit the NBA's script. He's not flashy. He doesn't care about endorsements. He'd rather ride horses in Serbia than star in commercials. And that independence, that refusal to play by the NBA's unwritten rules, it breeds jealousy. The jealousy factor. Let's face it, nothing rattles the NBA establishment more than players who succeed without needing them. Think about it. LeBron mastered the media game. Steph revolutionized basketball with a smile. Luka owns the European spotlight. Tatum gets the Boston hype machine. But Shai, Jokić, they're proof you don't need flash to dominate. And that terrifies the league. Kendrick Perkins even called Shai the most disrespected MVP candidate in the NBA. While JJ Redick said of Jokić, people are bored of his greatness because he makes it look too easy. Translation, the hate comes from envy. Other stars chase attention. Shai and Jokić chase wins. Quiet versus loud superstars. Contrast this with the NBA's loud stars. LeBron's every tweet makes headlines. Luka's temper with refs sparks daily debates. Jay's controversies dominate social media. Even Giannis cracks jokes that become viral. But Shai? He just shows up, cooks, and leaves. Jokić? He might not say anything in post-game interviews beyond, good team win. And here's the twist. Fans love the drama of loud superstars. But when it comes to actual winning basketball, it's the quiet ones who terrify opponents the most. Why other players fear them. This is where it gets real. Behind closed doors, NBA players know Shai and Jokić can end a season. Jayson Tatum admitted after facing OKC, Shai is a nightmare. He scores in ways you can't defend. Anthony Edwards, after a playoff series versus Denver, said, Jokić makes you feel like you don't know how to play basketball. That's fear. Respect on the surface, but underneath, a simmering jealousy. Because how do you compete with someone who doesn't just beat you, but makes it look effortless? Media bias and market jealousy. Let's not ignore this. Shai plays in Oklahoma City, Jokić in Denver, not exactly primetime markets. And the NBA thrives on markets. LA, New York, Miami, Boston. That's why when Shai drops 40, it's a side note. When Luka drops 35 in Dallas, it's trending worldwide. That double standard fuels resentment, both from media outlets who profit off stars in big cities, and from players in those markets who don't want their shine stolen by a quiet assassin from OKC or a Serbian genius in Denver. The legacy threat, here's the kicker. The hate isn't just about now, it's about the future. Shai is only 26, Jokić is in his prime. If they keep winning, they could derail legacies. Luka's path to MVPs, Tatum's chase for a ring, even LeBron's late career shine. That's why jealousy festers, because every time Shai or Jokić succeeds, it rewrites the NBA's hierarchy. And that scares the league more than anything. The bombshell. And now, the part you waited for. The secret no one wants to admit. NBA insiders privately know that the league can't market jealousy. They can't put envy on a poster, but it's real. Every time a player avoids the spotlight and still dominates, it chips away at the myth that superstars need drama, endorsements, or massive markets to be legends. Shai and Jokić are living proof. Quiet assassins, hated, envied, and feared. Not because they fail to entertain, but because they expose the NBA's biggest illusion. That attention equals greatness. So now I'll leave you with this. If the NBA world is already jealous of Shai and Jokić today, imagine the fear when Shai wins an MVP or when Jokić lifts another trophy. The question isn't whether they'll be respected, it's whether the league can ever admit the truth. That sometimes the deadliest superstars are the ones who barely say a word. This was Basketball Dribble, and if you stayed until the end, you just learned the secret that the NBA never wants to talk about.